Camille and welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about the struggles of being a feminine lesbian. Now this video is totally inspired by Cami Scott's Femme Lesbian Struggles video. I won't take credit for some of the things that I want to say, but hello, I'm sure we go through the same things and the list of the struggles seems to be never ending. So without further ado, the struggles of being a feminine lesbian. Okay, so the first one I wanted to talk about was people not believing me when I have to tell them that I'm gay, I'm a lesbian, and simply coming out to people over and over again and them not believing me. Now, one, of course, it has to do with me being feminine and people knowing I'm all things pink, sparkly, I like candles, I like makeup, I like dresses, I wear heels. They don't believe me because for some reason I have to look like Justin Bieber if I'm a lesbian. A lot of people ask if I'm just going through a phase. Are you sure? No, you're probably bisexual. So were you like bi before like you became a lesbian? And people asking me if I'm ever gonna go butch. No, it's not a phase. No, I'm not bisexual. I like girls and I like makeup too. I think that really sucks for every single time I have to come out to someone and tell them that I'm a lesbian or that I have a girlfriend, because I think that's a really big statement. I mean, it is a really big statement for someone to be able to say. To question that to someone is kind of like dishonoring what they have to say to you. I don't know if dishonoring is the right word, but it's kind of a little like offensive because you're literally denying who they are saying they are to you. So people not believing me when I tell them that I'm a lesbian is really annoying, and asking me if I'm going through a phase is just like, no. It's 2017, people. There are feminine lesbians all over the world. And when it comes to people not believing me, that brings me on to my next point, getting hit on by a guy. Now, I go out with my friends all the time. 80% of my circle, 90% of my circle of friends, they're all straight. So we go out to straight, quote unquote, straight bars, straight clubs, and I get hit on. Being a feminine lesbian or just being gay in general, getting hit on by someone who's straight, naturally when you tell them your sexuality, they think that it's just like a subtle way of you denying them and saying no. Guys usually don't believe me because straight girls use this excuse all the time, saying that they're a lesbian and that they have a girlfriend. Like, that's fine. Like, I understand, like, that was, like, the excuse that was probably made up, like, years ago. But, like, now it kind of sucks for us actually gay girls. Like, now that they don't actually believe us and, like, I'm actually not interested. Like, no. When it comes to this, though, what I do when I get hit on by someone who's straight, I always make sure that I'm really careful with it because I have dealt with, one, people not believing me, two, people actually getting mad, and three, like them overly sexualizing me. So I honestly, when I get hit on by a guy, I naturally become a little bit more masculine in the way that I speak to them and the way that I kind of just like carry myself, because that's when I try to treat them like a bro. Now, I am not a bro. I'm not masculine in any way whatsoever when it comes to the spectrum of Carmen from the L Word to Ruby Rose. Like, I'm not. But when it comes to getting hit on by a guy, I try to turn the conversation around and make it more friendly and have them look at me as more of a homegirl than their side chick. Okay, so when it comes to getting hit on by a guy, sometimes they're respectful, sometimes they don't believe me, and then other times, which is honestly like 75% of the time, where it becomes an overly sexualized conversation. Now this is where I feel like why I turn on more like of a masculine mode is because this is what I'm trying to drive the conversation away from, because easily it can get there. So for example, if I tell them I'm a lesbian, they ask me, oh, so would you be interested in a threesome with me and this girl? No. They start asking me questions about how we do it, how we have sex. They start asking me if it's real, like what you see on X-rated movies, things like that. And honestly, like, that's when I get obviously like really turned off and I'm just like, I'm not answering that. Also, another struggle is trying to even just make friends with a guy. There have been a few friends of mine that are guys that I was friends with before that it was really hard for their girlfriends to be okay with them being friends with me because I'm feminine, and I'd just be like, no, like, and like their boyfriends, like my friends would try to explain to them like, no, like she's a lesbian, like we're just friends, we're cool, but they're still not okay with it, and I actually have lost friends because of that. And that really sucks. Another thing when it comes to people over-sexualizing me as a feminine lesbian is being harassed in public. My girlfriend and I have been harassed multiple times, and I think it is because I would say me and my girlfriend are a really good-looking couple. My girl is gorgeous, and she isn't as feminine as me, so like it's kind of like I feel like we're the perfect match. We've had people come up to us. So for example, me and Sam were in Hawaii, and we're holding hands, we're affectionate. We're not afraid to be affectionate in public. We're not. And not like overly like any heterosexual couple would be, but we're not people who aren't afraid to hide it. So we were in Hawaii one day. It was like late at night. We were going back to our hotel, and we're walking home, and this guy comes up to us, and he's like, hey, he kind of had an accent, so it was a little hard to understand him. But he comes up to us and starts telling us how he thinks we're such a beautiful couple and is being really nice. And then he starts talking about lesbian X-rated movies that he watches online. He starts asking us if our sex is good. He starts asking like way too many personal questions, and that's when I grab Sam's hand and we cross the street and just leave him. And then he's like apologizing from far away. But like, you don't ask that. Like, you would never ask like a heterosexual couple about their sex life just like randomly on the street, would you? No. So things like that, being overly sexualized. And I also think like, I don't know, if you've experienced this before as like too like tomboy or too butch, I honestly hate labels, but that's the best way. So I'm sorry if you don't like these labels, but I don't like them either, but it's the best way for me to ask. If you are two tomboys or two butch lesbians in a relationship, do you guys get questions like that? Because I think, I would say because I'm feminine, people like naturally would like overly sexualize that. But I feel like if you were two butch lesbians, people wouldn't, like random creepy men on the street wouldn't ask you. I don't know. Leave it in the comments below. I'd love to know. The next struggle of being a femme lesbian is being invisible. And by that, I mean, you wouldn't know that I'm gay. And when I say invisible, I mean going to gay clubs and me looking like the straight girl who's here with all her friends that want to come here because they don't want to get hit on at the straight clubs by creepy guys. No, like I'm here for the same reason you are. Like, get me a drink. And I don't ever go to gay clubs with like my straight friends really, just because I know that's what it's gonna look like and want to. I don't think they ever really, I don't know, I just don't think I ever have. Even in Castro, like because San Francisco was such like a touristy city, they think I'm just like some tourist who is just checking out Castro, but no, I'm here to check out you. Another struggle when going to gay clubs as a feminine lesbian is like, if I were to make the first move, then a girl probably thinking I'm just like trying to have some fun. No. And lastly, I think this one may apply to just like lesbian relationships in general, but this one's geared more towards being the more feminine one in a relationship. I've been on dates with girls that are more masculine than me, and them assuming that they're the one who's either gonna pay or plays the more romantic role in a relationship, when like, no, like let me pay or let's both pay. Sam and I have gone out to eat multiple times, and sometimes she'll pay, sometimes I'll pay, sometimes we'll split it. And we've gone out multiple times where we would be going out to eat with a group of friends, and then they'd see us both paying like for our own bills and being like, what? Why are you both paying? Like, well, who did you expect to pay for the bill? Like, that's my question. Is it Sam because she's more masculine? Like, what? Like, when they ask that, it's like, why are you both paying? It's like, that's yet another loss for feminist equality, isn't it? So thank you guys so much for watching. That is my take on the struggles of being a feminine lesbian. If you have any more to add on to the list, please leave them in the comments below. I'm sure I will give you a thumbs up and many other feminine lesbians. Again, the list goes on and on and on. Please give this video a thumbs up if you relate to any of them. Thumbs up if you're a feminine lesbian. Thumbs up to the gay community in general. And I just have to disclaim that our struggles, in whichever way we identify in the gay community, we all go through different struggles. Not to say that feminine lesbians go through any more than anyone else. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoy. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. And have a fabulous day.